Get ready. Woo! We are on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. It's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name. When last year I spent more money on filmmaking in buying from one side of the world to the other than you make. You talk to the runaway where Diamond Ring, where Jeff Field, we don't do it. Let me be Jeff Wyatt, son of a gun. Wyatt, son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time holding down this stuff.
Hey yo, it's that time in the show when we like to take a little survey. So is there anybody here that came to see that red hot black and white express? Survey says one more for the good guys.
Welcome to Fantasy Kingdom. I'm your host, Mikey, and as always, riding me shotgun. Howie, how we doing, brother?
Doing good. I want to say a happy Veterans Day to all you guys out there.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Yes. Yesterday was my day.
Yeah.
I went to work. So it's one of those things. But yes, absolutely. Happy Veterans Day to all those veterans out there. We appreciate your service.
Yeah, I guess the breakfast places are booming today. Mom took Mike out, and she said there was a line to get in and a line waiting at the door when they got out. Yeah.
A lot of places have the veteran, the discount or the free meals for the veterans.
Yeah, so
we got a comment in here. Everyone's talking about the offensive woes, but I want to say, why does the defense keep blessing them and giving running backs catches? Eric, you're not wrong. We're talking about the Buffalo Bills here. The defense also gives the offense bad field position. And when that happens, it's hard to drive the length of the field over and over. And, oh, my God, Sean McDermott needs to stop with the 7-man blitz. Especially against someone like Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes, that
somebody who get the ball out really quick.
Who has no problem taking the check down.
Yeah. You want to blitz, go up against Tommy DeVito or somebody like that,
Sam Howell.
Hey. Hey, he's got like second in the league with yards thrown though.
I know, but if you blitz him, it's one of those things.
Yeah. Oh, you can sack him.
Spin. What's going on, brother? Yep. I think McD has no choice to blitz with all these injuries. It's you live by the sword, you die by the sword. At the end of the day, the issue becomes it's like, okay, well, the defense only gave up 24 points. Well, they gave 24 points, but when they got their stops at midfield. So Buffalo's average field position start was the 12-yard line. Like, it's hard to drive that far every time, So, yeah, we love those bend but don't breaks. But anyways, this is a fantasy show. So let's talk some fantasy, Howie. Last week's Week 9 results. We missed last week's due to technical difficulties. So we apologize for all you out there. But let's hit some studs. At quarterback, you know who the top scoring quarterback was last week? CJ Stroud.
Oh, yeah. Well, geez. He set all kinds of records. So.
Yeah, CJ Stroud. The top 3 quarterbacks were CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, and Jalen Hurts. Honorable mention, we had the slinging Josh Allen, who always seems to be at the top, but the Bills aren't doing very well, but he's doing well. Josh Dobbs, the no practice, no rest, Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, he threw 3 touchdowns in this game, but he threw 3 touchdowns the week before for another team. It's never happened.
Yep. And then Joe Burrow was the last honorable mention. Randall comes in. So thoughts on this 12-team PPR trade. I sent Tua and Swift for Howell and Eckler. I now have Howell, Taylor, Etienne, Eckler, Brown, Garrett, Deontay Johnson, Devonta Smith, McBride, and Njoku. I like the deal.
It's a good team.
Losing, like, who's your backup? Who's the backup quarterback? Because losing Tua, who, say what you want about Tua, he's been very, very fantasy relevant this year. Kind of hurts, but getting Eckler is a good one.
Well, especially over Swift. And your points are
Mhm.
Swift's not doing anything.
Yeah, not in the last few weeks. And Hal actually isn't a bad trade off with Tua, because Hal, regardless of whether they're winning or losing, they just throw the crap out of the ball.
He's a fantasy quarterback. He really is.
He's Matt Stafford when he was with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
He got, okay, you have Derek Carr as your backup. Honestly, I like the deal. I think Eckler is better than Swift, and to give up Tua and with you having Hal in your back pocket, it's a good trade. I like it. The fact that you have a 12-team lead and that's your team, you've done really well.
Yeah. Were those pickups, trades, or waiver wires, I wonder?
Or draft.
Because that's a hell of a draft.
That's a hell of a draft. I mean, if you think about it, you look at this, Taylor was hurt, so you probably got him a little bit later.
Probably got him a little cheaper.
Etienne.
But Etienne and Eckler.
Well, he just traded for Eckler.
Oh, he just traded for Eckler. But Etienne, AJ Brown, Garrett. Now, Deontay, he got cheap, probably, because he was hurting.
Yeah.
McBride and Njoku, I'm sure he got them later.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, good.
I like it. I like it a lot. Absolutely. Thanks for the comment.
What's your record?
Yeah, well, you're that team, because that's very interesting. Start playing wide receivers online, go down timing, and maybe we can get a sack. Yeah, bump and run, Eric. That's not Sean McDermott style. He's zone, play it off 7 yards.
I'll tell you, that's what's kept Hill in kind of check, or some of your better wide receivers. You got to hit them at the line.
All righty.
If you give them those first few steps, kiss goodbye.
Yep. Spen comes in and says, choose 3: Cooper, Metcalf, Olave, Addison, Kirk, Dell. Woo, Howie, we'll start with you, brother.
Olave, Addison, Kirk, and Dell. I like Kirk. You gotta play Dell right now. That's the hot hand.
Well, it was last week. The problem with Dell is he's hot one week, down the next.
Well, yeah, but I think that team is coming together. I want to say Olave, but he hasn't sniffed the end zone much.
No.
Metcalf has a good setup this week. All 3 of those receivers could score good points. So I just personally, and Cooper's been quietly.
Yeah, but Cooper has the Ravens this week.
Right, but he's been quietly doing it, and the Ravens can be thrown on. Yeah. Let's see, Addison.
I'm going
That's
Metcalf.
A tough one.
I'm going Metcalf, Addison, and Dell, who's my 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Metcalf, Kirk, and Dell, because I think Jacksonville's really going to give the Niners a game.
You really don't like Addison, do you? Because you never picked him.
I drafted him. and I like him.
Traded him,
but I don't know what. I don't trust the
Josh Dobbs.
Well, I like Josh Dobbs and I like Addison. I just don't think they've had time to mesh yet. So if I'm going for this week, I'm saying no. And then when Jefferson comes back, then Addison's going to be.
If
deadly.
Jefferson comes back, they're talking about him not coming back.
If he comes back, Addison will be deadly. Because then you won't know who to defend. Right now, all you really got to do is defend Addison and Hawkinson.
And Randall comes in and says he got lucky with a few trades. That's how he got that team.
Hey.
Okay, we got another one that comes in from George Play 01. Non-PPR, I'm 8-1. My team's Tua, CMC, Kenneth Walker, Cup, Waddle, and for flex is Olave. Bench Fields, Warren, Keaton, Fournette, JSN, Deontay, Dell, and Quentin. Should I trade Olave for Montgomery? Well, you have
got Cup and Waddle, and he's got Deontay, he's got JSN. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. He's got
because he has Keaton. His backups for running backs are Warren and Keaton and Fournette. Montgomery is absolutely a better backup than anybody that you have. Yeah. Knowing you have Cup, You know,
Yeah, you've got enough
Waddle.
guys to cover Olave.
Yeah.
And,
And honestly, Dell could be your third wide receiver
right. Well, and
or Deontay.
if something happened to CMC or Walker, Montgomery's a nice one to slide in there.
Yep. I would absolutely make that deal if you can do it.
I like that trade.
I like that trade a lot. Or Olave and Walker for Montgomery and Smith. I would not trade Walker. I would trade Olave for Montgomery. I wouldn't try to, because you don't want to get off Walker. You know, keeping Walker is key to that deal, as then Montgomery becomes your third running back.
Right.
And you match up play.
Yeah, if you can get straight across for Olave and Montgomery, that's a pretty good one.
Sports Jedi Network, thank you. Appreciate it. Smash that like. Tommy in the building. So all right. So why while we're waiting for more to come in, let's get back to our studs and duds. Running backs. Rashard White led the league last week in fantasy points.
Yeah.
This one was an odd one when I was writing it down. It was White, it was Stevenson, and it was Josh Jacobs were the three studs. Honorable mention, it was Eckler, Mitchell, and Henry. You know, and Mitchell is one of those guys, well, you don't know what you're getting out of that Baltimore backfield. You don't know who it's in.
Yeah, he kind of came out of nowhere.
Right?
Well, and Eckler, as good as he did, he dropped 2 or 3 balls too. He's I don't know if he's hearing footsteps or whatever. And I love Eckler, but man, he's been a little he hasn't fumbled anything, but he's not catching the ball very well. And that's his strength.
Yeah. Spen comes in and says, should I play James Conner or let him get a week under his belt after coming off of injury? I probably wouldn't play him. If you have another running back to play, I would play him. It's not only James Conner returning, it's also Kyler Murray returning. So we're not exactly sure what that offense is going to look like this week.
And who are they playing? They're playing
let me pull up they for whatever reason. So here. Let's go. Who is Arizona playing? Arizona has the Falcons this week.
They got a kind of a tough defense. I like Conner because he's so resilient.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just been in a bad situation for a while. I don't know. That would be a coin flip for me, depending on who else you got.
Scott Blakely coming in. Don't start a single Buffalo Bill and you'll do great. The problem is, Scott, the Buffalo Bills players are doing fantastic fantasy-wise. Just not doing great in the real time.
Yeah, Buffalo's fantasy team is way better than Buffalo's real team.
Hey, pipe down, Commanders fan. Pipe down, Commanders fan. Okay, let's continue down the stretch. Wide receivers. Tank Dell led the league last week in points for wide receivers. Then CeeDee Lamb, dude, you get the number 3, Noah Brown. So Tank Dell and Noah Brown. That's how good of a week CJ Stroud had. On top of that, Dalton Schultz led tight ends. So 3 of his weapons were in the top 3 in fantasy scores. It's crazy.
And Collins is out this week.
Yeah.
Too,
Nico is. So you'll probably see more Tank Dell and
so that same group will
Yep.
probably get, you know.
Yep. Honorable mentions from wide receivers. You had Cooper, you have Diggs, and you have Deontay Johnson. From tight end standpoints, you have Dalton Schultz, Cole Kmet, Cade Otton. Honorable mention, you have Taysom Hill, Jake Ferguson, and Jonnu Smith. What is going on over here? I love him. Right here, Spen says, I got White and Stevenson as his backups.
And that was from the Connors.
That was the Connor one. So
Stevenson's got a good setup this week. And White's looking good this week. You can set Connors for a week and be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you got
White's going against the Titans, and he catches the ball more than he runs.
That's right. He's getting a lot more of those dinks and dunks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm starting him.
And then the Patriots got the Colts, and you don't know what you get from the Colts. They're Jekyll and Hyde.
Right. And Stevenson, you know, of course, last week's stats were a little skewed because he got almost all his yards in one run. He got
Scott, I love you, brother.
80 something yards and 72 of them in one shot. If they make the playoffs, he'll eat another pepper. I haven't seen you eat the one from when the Bills won a pepper.
I gotta go Laporta versus Chargers over Kittle versus Jags. I would go Laporta over Kittle's. Kittle's has a very high ceiling but a very low floor week to week. Laporta seems to be steady. You know you're gonna get probably about 10 to 20 from Laporta every week. Now Kittle's could get you 35, but could also get you 3.
Yeah.
So I would probably go with Laporta. Also, you're going to see Deebo Samuel back. You know, you're going to see a lot of those weapons come back for the 49ers. So it'll be interesting to see how they play out. Barkley throws for 400 and 5 touchdowns. Do the Giants give him a 500? Matt Barkley's the backup this week, brother. It's Tommy DeVito that's starting.
That's right.
Unless Tommy DeVito just sucks and then he goes for 405 touchdowns and a half. You know, this is the Giants. They gave Daniel Jones, you know, $40 million a year.
That's true.
You know. All right, choose 3. Pittman, Addison, Judy, Gabe, Davis, and Downs.
Is Downs still nursing an ankle? I think
so. Because he left last week.
Yeah.
I'm going. Oh my God! And Pittman's a juicy matchup. No J.C. Jackson back there. No Christian Gonzalez back there. But it's going to be overseas, so you don't know what you're getting. I hate those overseas games because you don't know how they're going to come out and play. Right. So if I had to choose, I'm going Addison, Judy, and Davis. And I hate saying that because I would want Pittman so bad. I mean, you're gambling by playing Davis either way, so you might as well gamble and play Pittman. Because Stephon is playing. Stephon Diggs is playing this week, so Gabe doesn't elevate to wide receiver 1.
I don't know. I do like Pittman. Are you there?
Yeah, we're good.
I do like Pittman.
Uh-huh.
Boy, with the way the Bills' defense is playing, you might want to throw Judy in there. And then, just for shits and giggles, I got to go with Gabe Davis because I can't tell one guy don't go with Addison and then go with Addison.
You just don't like Addison.
I can't go back and forth on it. And you know, generally when I'm down on a guy, they do great. So you might be better off playing Addison.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Pittman. Yeah, then I would go Pittman, Addison, and Judy.
And you can bet the house that if I put a chili pepper challenge on somebody, they're gonna suck.
What's going on, Beth? Thanks for joining. This is our fantasy show, Beth. All right, so let's get over to the duds from last week at quarterback. We had Geno Smith, Justin Herbert, and Lamar Jackson. You know, not 3 you would think of when you're talking about duds. Mm-hmm. From a running back standpoint, Zach Moss came back down to earth finally. Walker the third and Bijan Robinson, with dishonorable mentions of Pacheco, James Cook, and Tony Pollard. So it was a rough go for the running backs last week. Beth, I do throw in some Bills talk at the same time. That's just because that's just my nature. Wait, I need 4. You need 4. Okay, so you need 4 receivers? So then I would go Davis because I don't know what Downs is. So I'd go Pittman, Addison, Judy, and Davis because I don't know if Downs is going to play this week. So, all right. So, and then the wide receivers, we had Pickens, Flowers, and Godwin. 3 that you wouldn't think would sit at the bottom. Mm-hmm. Christian Watson, is part of dishonorable mention, who seems to be there every week right now. DJ Moore and DK Metcalf.
I can't wait for Fields to get back. I think DJ's gonna have a little resurgence there. He's just struggling with Bagent.
Mm-hmm. The Bagent's up and down, but he's a D2 player, you know, rookie. That's starting in the NFL.
Well,
The fact that he's even somewhat competent is nice.
That game the other night was the first time the D2 Heisman or whatever they call it. It's a different trophy.
Outstanding player or whatever.
Yeah, played the real Heisman in a game. That was
really?
That was a strange,
And the D2 Heisman beat the D1 Heisman.
Yeah, they both. Neither one of them played very well.
No, not at all.
For being the best in their divisions. But hey, yeah, he beat them.
Yep, good for him.
Say I beat the Heisman.
Yep. And then dishonorable mention for the duds, tight ends. We have Travis Kelce, who was the worst of all the tight ends. Had a bad day in Germany. He was thinking about his girlfriend.
That was going to say something about boxers and not having sex the night before a game. So,
well, she wasn't there, but he was.
She
thinking
wasn't
about
there,
it.
So maybe he was thinking about it a little hard.
Yeah, because now they're on a bye and he's down visiting there. Then Kyle Pitts, got Goddard, and that's it.
Goddard broke his arm.
Yeah, broke his forearm.
Yep.
All right, so let's take a look over here. He said, I need 4, which we gave you 4. He says, choose 1 to sit. Are you just messing with me now, Spin? Because I gave you 3. The 3, I would sit Gabe Davis.
Right, and I would sit Addison.
And he would sit Addison. I just don't trust Gabe. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah. I do like Sam Howell over Deshaun.
Yep. Sam over Deshaun, yes. Sam Howell's just a throwing fool. He's very much that Matthew Stafford type quarterback when he was with Detroit. No matter what,
he's got good targets. He's got good targets to throw to do.
Stafford did too. He had Megatron and a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, I put my money on Howell versus Watson, right? Beth doesn't even do fantasy, but she just knows football.
Watson, I don't. He's not listed as injured, but he every time he
gets hit
or bump, takes a knee. It's like oh.
I'm out for a week.
I mean, he.
Well, when you get 250 plus million guaranteed, and they can't take it from you.
Seemingly, he doesn't have a whole lot of incentive to take any more punishment.
Right? Isn't that crazy? It's why the NFL players won't get guaranteed contracts.
Yeah,
they can thank Deshaun Watson for this one. I went with Hal over Dobbs last week. Yeah, that's rough. But Dobbs didn't even start, so that was actually a smart go spin.
Right,
and Dobbs only came in because of the concussion.
Right, and you had no information that would have made you pick otherwise. So you didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, you went with Hal over Stroud. You went Hal over Stroud. That's a rough.
Oh. Well,
that's even worse.
Yeah, but then again, you had no idea that Stroud would go off like that. There was no indication of it. He stands in there like a pro, but you still didn't mess up.
Yeah, he's not. That's not much of a fan of Deshaun Watson. I had Hal, Dobbs, and Stroud on my teams. Okay, and you went with Hal over Stroud. It's hard. The way Stroud's playing, it's hard to sit him. Now, I'll go with Hal because he's a higher fantasy quarterback. Stroud's the better quarterback in general. What?
Hey, I like this Beth person.
Beth is fantastic. She's one of our regulars on our Bills content shows.
She's agreeing with me.
Oh, Stroud had a great week last week. Yeah, so that's a rough one. Yeah.
You just, if you could have picked that in advance, then you're really something.
So spin. It seems like whenever you choose somebody, it goes bad. So whoever you want to choose, start the other.
That's right.
Whatever your gut's telling you to do, go with the other one. This is why I can't go with my gut. That's why I said go with the other one. Yep, she's a fan, Howie. She's a fan. All right. So let's jump into the bye weeks this week. So obviously, we have the Chiefs, Rams, Dolphins, and Eagles on the byes. So a lot of big guns buys this week, which sucks. For those that have them, including Howie, who has Tyreek and loves him some Tyreek.
Yeah.
Tyreek's kind of one of the guys who have helped him. But we have a couple guys having the Eagles down. That hurts him real bad. One of our top guys. You know, I'm without Cooper Kupp, but he really hasn't done much since Stafford got hurt. So the fact that they're on the bye and Stafford's probably going to come back next week is fantastic. That's great for Cooper Kupp. Next week's buys: Falcons, Colts, Patriots, and Saints. So Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, Ramondre Stevenson, Kamara and Olave, and those guys. It looks like Michael Thomas is going to be out for a little while too. He's in some legal trouble.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, it helps Olave.
Yeah.
Although you know who's a sneaky bet on that New Orleans team is Rashid Raheem.
Yeah.
He's a burner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you had Tyreek this week and you're looking for somebody, he's a sneaky one that probably nobody has.
Not only that, but him and Carr have a really good connection.
Yeah. Now, last week, one of our people, or the week before, somebody was telling me, I asked who should I start with Olave, and they said, oh, Carr sucks balls. That was what the week before last, and so I didn't start Olave, and he didn't do that much.
Beth, you think the way most Bills fans think. The Bills wins, which we better. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. We're within a half game, of the East. As bad as we played, we're within a game of the East.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
They're kind of like they're playing sort of like most fantasy leagues are right now.
Yeah,
all bunched up,
Yeah,
I mean nobody has really broken loose this week. You could have a couple teams, have a little bit of air to breathe, but right now it's, especially in the AFC.
Yeah. All right, so let's jump into the key matchups this week. We have the 49ers at Jags first. Howie, what's on tap for this game?
Well, let's see. Of course, the Niners are nursing a 3-game losing streak.
Yes, they are.
Jags are looking good right now. I think Ridley might have a game this week because the Niners like to blitz so much that it might leave Ridley open.
So let me ask you this question: with them bringing in Chase Young, do you think they're going to have to blitz as much because now they have someone on the opposite of Bosa?
I don't think they have to blitz as much. I think it doesn't hurt to blitz a little bit, but you can't blitz every single time, especially if you're going up against a pretty decent quarterback that can get rid of the ball quick.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence is learning every game. He's still young, but he's got targets. He's got that running back that can mess with the blitz.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the Niners. I think that's one of the few things they need to work on is drop them back a little bit every now and then.
Not being so blitz heavy.
So
it'll be interesting. They had the whole bye week to make the adjustment. So maybe that's one of the things, having Chase Young come in and to add that complement pass rusher. Maybe they won't have to blitz as much. That's one of the problems with Sean McDermott in the Bills right now is like the guys aren't getting home, so he's sending blitzes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you can rush 4 and get to the guy, you can hang a bunch of guys back, which will help a lot, especially against the Jags.
Yeah. Yeah. So on the 49ers offensive side, well, what's on tap for them?
Okay, let's see. Purdy's there. CMC's okay. I'm not sure how's Debo doing.
Debo will be back this week.
Debo will be back, so that makes a big. Well, sometimes I think they make too much of Debo. Mm-hmm. Oh, without Debo, we're not doing anything. It's like, well, what do you mean? You got CMC, you got Ayuk, you got Kittle, you got your defense, and you're telling me that you're losing because one guy is hurt? I don't think so.
Oh, you're gonna love this one, Howie. It's his Vampire League.
Oh,
who do I steal from the team if I win? I get to take 2: Lockett, Chase, Stevenson, Cook. Depending on who your quarterbacks are, I'm taking Chase and Lawrence probably.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on your quarterback.
If you have a quarterback and you have a really good quarterback, is this the league that you have the 3 quarterbacks where you have Howell, Stroud, and Dobbs? Because I still think Lawrence is better than all 3 of them. Because you could also take Chase and
Watson
Dell.
are his quarterbacks.
Howell and Watson.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, if you have,
I'm taking Chase and Lawrence.
If you win this week with Howell and Watson, do you need Lawrence? But Lawrence is way better than both of them. So if you're going to steal somebody, steal them and see if you can trade Howell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're not going to get any value for Watson.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use him as your backup, and Howell you might be able to get somebody for.
I don't disagree with you, Spin. But having Lawrence and Howell as your 2 quarterbacks and getting rid of Watson is helpful too. Then you play the matchups.
Yeah.
Howell is absolutely capable of having higher scoring games, but he's also capable of having duds against good teams.
Yeah. Yeah, he still doesn't have much of an offensive line.
I mean, other than that, who else could you take? You could take Lockett or Dell.
Yeah.
But I still think Chase and Lawrence is your best 2 options there if you win. Yeah. That's just me.
Well, you have the best chance of really hurting that other team too, if that's what you're looking at doing too. I mean, in a vampire league, you kind of want to ding the other guy too.
Yeah.
Just as much as improving your team, it's how can I knock this guy down?
Yeah.
That's what that's what I think a vampire league kind of suggests. I can't wait to get in one.
I would love to. Who's his other quarterback? Because if he doesn't have a great quarterback, that's hurting them too by stealing their quarterback.
Right. Yeah. If
taking Chase, you get Chase and Lawrence. That's a great come up on a week.
Yeah.
No, I pretty much need to win out, so I need to maximize my team's scoring from here on out. Chase is definitely one. Then you got to pick. Like me personally, I would take Lawrence, but that's just me. If you need receiver help, go with Dell or Lockett. If you need running back help, go with Stevenson or Cook. And I'd probably go Stevenson over Cook. I don't know what your team needs, but I would absolutely steal Chase. And then, just looking at it, I haven't won a game yet. I could have won 4 if I would start the right players. That's a rough go. Spin. That's a rough go. All right, let's go to the next matchup. We have Detroit at the Chargers. Allie, what's on tap for that game?
Okay, well, let's see. Detroit's getting healthy. Montgomery's coming back. All their skill players are healthy. I think if anybody's going to have a drop off, it'll be Gibbs, because Montgomery's going to steal from him.
So let me ask you that question. They're saying they're going to have a 50-50 split, but we've heard this before. So do you think they lean back into Montgomery?
They're going to go with the hot hand. They'll probably start out, thumping Montgomery and trying to use Gibbs, kind of as a slash and burn, and see who does it. I would watch the first quarter really,
See, that doesn't help fantasy owners though.
Oh no, it doesn't. But what I think what they'll do is they'll lean back into Montgomery in the short game.
Okay.
So there's a good chance he'll vulture the goal lines.
The touchdowns. That sucks for me.
I know.
Who has Gibbs?
I know.
That sucks for me badly.
Yeah.
It was awesome to watch them unleash in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, and they still might and use Montgomery as a decoy.
Man, that's a gamble.
But that's tough.
A gamble.
When you start juking around your running backs,
you need to give them carries to get them in the flow of a game. That's the thing.
I think they're both going to get ample carries. What they do with them, we'll see what happens. But
I would say ample touches. I don't know if they'll both get the same amount of carries. But
right, touches because Gibbs
is better Gibbs is better in the pass game.
Yeah.
Bessie, I don't understand fantasy well enough to join a league. You know what, Beth? Next year, Mafia Sports Report will do a fantasy league. You come join that, you'll learn how to play. It'll be fun, just for fun.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. On the Chargers side of the ball, what do you got?
Well, let's see. Palmer's still on IR.
Yeah.
So that
You're going to see the rookie, Quentin Johnston.
yeah, Quentin Johnson. Well, you didn't see much of him the other day. He's on the field a lot, but they're still focusing on Allen, and they're still focusing on Eckler, and their tight ends. They're getting a little bit more to the tight ends. Early in the season, they were hitting Parham a lot, in the end zone. But right now, I don't know. I still think that finger's bothering Herbert a little bit, and the team, their defense really came on in this last game. I mean, they looked like a completely different team.
It must be rough to look good against the Jets. Offense.
I mean, and they scored okay against the Jets, but both you had two defenses there that were really shined. I thought, I don't know. This is a tough game. I think Detroit's going to win this game.
So do I.
But
I think the Chargers defense was just a product of playing a really bad and inept offense.
But I don't pick players off of the Chargers for wins. I pick people out of the Chargers because they are always behind and they are always chucking the ball. So
yeah,
they're they're the West Coast Bills. They score.
Listen here.
A lot of fantasy points.
Don't make me put you in timeout. Don't make me put you in timeout. All right, so let's talk about the last game on the list. The Washington Commanders at the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
What are you on tap for your Commanders?
I'm hoping the Commanders can give the Seahawks a big.
I can't believe you just called them by their real name.
I know I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I must have been looking at the paper or something. Slap me. But I think Washington. I'm looking for good things in Washington. Seattle is still bouncing back from a butt kicking, but they got 3 points in their last game, and I think their last two games they haven't scored very much.
How did Washington do last week without their edge rushers?
They almost won. No, they did win.
Who did they play last week?
They played. Do
you remember?
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I was just wondering, how did the edge rush without Young and Sweat? How did that defense look?
You know that they didn't look bad at all. They really. It's like the team was able. They had to come together, to fill those two holes. But I think they did it just fine.
Okay. They beat the Patriots last week.
Yeah.
Okay. 2017.
Yeah, so
they did something that the Bills couldn't do. Beat the Patriots.
There you go. I mean, now I can't be talking about them in the same sentence with the Bills because we did get beat pretty bad by them. But, we got beat bad by the Bills, but the Bills have lost to the Patriots and the Jets. And so I'm not going to even get into that. But I do like Washington's chances.
Okay.
This week. I mean, Seattle's got Geno. I think all three of their receivers are going to look good. Lockett, DK, JSN. You got K9 running the ball with Charbonnet backing him up. That's not a bad offense. But then Howell, you got Ryan Robinson, you got McLaurin, you got Dotson, you got Logan Thomas, and they're doing okay.
Curtis Samuel.
They're not scoring tons of points, but they're scoring enough to win. I'm not looking at playoffs. Yeah,
they're winning enough close games.
I think they're good enough to upset a couple people on the toward the
so
end
they're good enough to stay out of the top 10 in the NFL draft, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that happens all the time. We're just good enough to not get any good draft picks.
To get those elite, explosive guys.
Not good enough to get into the playoffs, but not bad enough to get the. Well, we did though. We had Chase, we had Sweat. What good did that do us?
Yeah, and you traded them away.
Well, hopefully we'll do something with that. But
all right. On the Seattle side of the house, what's on tap?
Well, Seattle, like I said, they got Lockett, DK, JSN, and they got the 12th man. That crowd noise there is incredible. So that does make a difference.
Do you expect the bounce back for Geno?
That could get a couple more sacks for Howell.
Yeah. Do you expect a bounce back from Gino this week
I
and
do. I do.
K9?
I'm not so sure about Canine, but
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure Gino's going to have a decent game. I think he'll
Okay.
be a little bit more relaxed. I mean, he needs the win, but I think it's going to be a tough game. And I'm hoping for Washington to win it. I'm not going to call it a guarantee, but I think it's going to
Yeah.
be a good game. It was one of the only out of the three games we picked.
Hmm.
There's really not any other good games this weekend. The Cleveland Baltimore game could be a slobber knocker.
Yep.
That might be the best game of the week, but fantasy wise, it's a non-starter. You got Lamar. You maybe got one of their running backs cut loose, and then
Hmm.
in Cleveland, both their defenses are going to be all over the opposing
You
quarterback.
know what's a sneaky good game? The Texans at the Bengals.
Yeah, there's
That's a sneaky good game this week.
yeah,
With the way CJ Stroud's been playing, with Tank Dell coming on, no Nico, no Damian Pierce, so it's gonna be a Devin Singletary heavy game. You
right.
know, no T Higgins, Jamar Chase is banged up, so I
Yeah,
think the Texans have a chance to knock off the Bengals.
yeah, yeah. That would be something to see. It really would be something to see because, um, yeah, it's that could be what time is that game? Because that
It's
could be a really
morning game.
a real fun one
T-
to watch. A
10
morning
a.m.
game.
our 10 a.m. our
Yeah.
time, 1 Eastern.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That'll be a fun game to watch. That's for sure.
Yeah, you know, like knowing they're without Chase or knowing they're without Higgins, possibly with a banged up Chase.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see. I believe one of their DNs is out too. It's like everyone comes back, gets healthy for the Bills, and then the next week they don't have guys. It's just like what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
It happens every week, or they've been out for weeks and then they all come back against the Bills and then they're gone again. It's just one of those years, I guess. All right. So that covers up that piece. So let's hit some sit and start questions, Howie. So from a quarterback position, would you start Derek Carr or would you start Taylor Heineke?
Hmm. I think this weekend I would go with Carr.
Okay.
With Thomas down, he's going to go to his speedsters. Maybe I think if you throw it a little deeper, you never know what Taysom Hill's going to do in there, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that guy could throw for a touchdown, run for a touchdown, and catch a touchdown, or do nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's true.
if he doesn't have a big game, then Carr will probably have a decent game this week.
Okay. Here we go. We got a question that comes in from Kevin, aka K Dizzle. Um, I traded Addison for T Higgy. My mindset was 12-man full PPR, have CD, Olave, Hollywood in my lineup with London on the bench, so I don't need Higgins until the playoffs. Yeah, that's good. You know, um, keep an eye on London. London's been coming on over the last few weeks. He was hurt last week, so he's back this week. If he's on your bench, that's fine. Keep an eye on him. Let Higgins get healthy, then come back. Um, so I like that. I like that. You have a good receiving core. You know, having CD and St. Brown was having two elite wide receivers, then having Olave and Hollywood and London as guys that you can put in, because Higgins is one of those up and down guys, has a really high ceiling but a low floor. So I like it. I like it a lot. Would you start Hollywood or London Brown this week? Full PPR. Kyler got Kyler in because Hurts is on a bye. If you could go, you can go with Hollywood and have the Kyler to Hollywood connection. I would probably go with London. I like him better. Kyler's just now coming back. That first game back's always a little rusty. He has no real live bullets. Who would you go with? Would you go with Hollywood or would you go with London?
I'd probably go with London this week, but if you're a Cardinal fan, you would hope by next week the Kyler is full on going with his guys.
Mhm.
Hollywood will be his number one, and then you got oh God, I can't even remember their number two receiver. And Connor will be back. He likes taking a lot of dinks and dunks, but so London will probably would get the most work.
Yeah.
Over Hollywood.
And with Heineke in there and over Ritter, I think Heineke's a better quarterback. So
I like
might see
Heineke.
more. You might see more to London.
I liked him when he was with Washington. He's a decent quarterback. You don't know what the Falcons are going to do though.
Yeah.
Who's going to be their running back, and are they going to even bother using them? Boy, that's London would be the better choice of those.
Yeah, I would probably go London over Hollywood. I don't trust that Kyler's gonna come out and tear it up. Like there's always that glimmer that happens, but like just going off of history, very rarely do guys come back from ACLs and just tear it up right away. Outside of Adrian Peterson, I can't think of anybody.
Yeah. Now let's see. Olave does get targets. That's his saving grace on my team this year, because he's not scoring a lot of touchdowns, but he'll get 5 or 6 catches for 60, 70 yards, and that's been getting him through. But he hasn't. I don't think he scored over 20 points for me this season so far.
Okay.
And he was one of my keepers.
Here's one for you. Are you going Josh Dobbs or Baker Mayfield?
Baker. Lately, I kind of been liking Baker, but I like Dobbs. I mean, I think Dobbs.
Ooh, I love this one. I love this question.
I'm going to go with Dobbs this week.
You go Dobbs over Baker?
I just like I like his attitude. I like how he runs the ball. Baker's a lot more sedentary.
Daniel asks, would you go Lamar or Herbert this week? I would probably go Herbert just because Lamar has Cleveland's defense.
Yeah.
That's a rough thing.
I'd go Herbert anyway just because he's constantly slinging the ball. I wish Palmer was back. I wish Williams was back. Oh, my God, Herbert would be having a great year. But in this case, since Lamar's got to go up against Cleveland, I would take Herbert. There's going to be a lot of points scored in that game.
Lamar would be dependent on his rushing yards for fantasy value. You're 100% right, Spen. And that's why I would probably go with Herbert over Lamar. Like, that Cleveland defense is legit.
Oh, yeah. They got me 28 points a week ago.
Christian Watson or Jay Williams, is that the wide receiver Detroit Jay Williams? Jameson Williams? Half PPR? Because honestly, I'd probably go Jay Williams over Watson. Watson's seeing nothing with Jordan Love. Jordan Love is just wow. Not only did they draft him in the first round to piss off Aaron Rodgers, to see what they get out of him, like, way to alienate your, Hall of Fame quarterback. Good job, Green Bay. Oh, no, it's the running back. Okay, so it's Javonte. I'd go Javonte. The Bills' running game run defense is suspect.
And they've been giving Javonte a lot of carries lately. They're working him hard. And I think if they really work him hard early, the Bills' defense is going to be in big trouble.
It's better with Lindell Joseph now, part of the rotation, as he's a big, run stuffing D lineman. But if you've watched the Bills at all, they always give up the big one to somebody. And I think Javonte's going to be the guy who's going to rip off that big one.
He's due.
Yep. All right. So let's switch over to running backs. Who are you starting? Bijan Robinson or Aaron Jones?
Well, they're using Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with that. Just the simple fact that at least they use him. Bijan, they don't know how to use him yet.
You take him in the top 10 and you can't figure out a way to use him is crazy.
I know.
You know.
I mean,
okay.
I don't know if he's maybe got some attitude problem or something, but
not from what everyone says. The coach is on McAfee every week, and he came out and said that Bijan's being used as helping other guys get things because people always decoy on him.
Huh.
Oh, I went blurry.
I don't know.
Let's see if me open this up helps. There we go. I'm back. All right. So let's jump into the next one. Rashard White, or James Cook.
I'm going to go with Rashad White on that one.
Well, you don't trust the Bills will know how to use a running back?
No. I don't trust your offensive coordinator to use all those wonderful tools he's got. It's like if he was a carpenter, I wouldn't set foot in his building.
That's funny. Najee Harris or Jaylen Warren?
Warren's been outscoring Harris lately. So if you've got them both, I would go with Warren. Okay. Najee's a shadow of his old self.
Bijan Robinson or Devin Singletary?
Well, it depends.
No, not Bijan. I'm sorry, Brian Robinson or Devin Singletary.
I would go with let's see, it was Brian or who?
Brian Robinson or Devin Singletary?
Brian Robinson. Devin Singletary is single digit Devin.
Devin Singletary, there is no Dameon Pierce this week. He's going to get the full lot of carries.
Well, we'll see. There hasn't been any Dameon Pierce on the, even when he's healthy, there hasn't been any Dameon Pierce, and he's still not doing well. I would say no. I would go with Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson has been really lobbying for an angry run lately, and I think the
question is does your offense coordinator give him the ball enough?
Oh, I don't know. I think he's got a lot better chance than Devin.
All right, I like that. Spankington says Najee's a shadow of his old self. Isn't he like on his third season? Yes, and his team has no idea how to use him.
Yeah,
whatsoever. Like he is such a he's actually a really good back in a wrong system.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. If he were elsewhere, he might have a resurgence, but I think they're looking at moving on from him already.
Yeah, I got one for you. Wide receivers: Terry McLaurin or Deontay Johnson.
I like Terry. Scary Terry.
Okay.
With the way Howell is slinging it, they might, they may or not win, but I think they've got a lot better chance of him scoring some points because he's going to go to the end zone.
Chris Godwin or DJ Moore? Oh, not DJ Moore. I'm sorry, Calvin Ridley. DJ's already played.
I like Godwin. He seems to, Evans used to be the focus on that team, but the last couple of weeks, Godwin's been getting a lot more attempts.
Deebo Samuel or Amari Cooper?
Well, Deebo is a multi-use back, so he's going to get some rushing yards. He might even throw the ball a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to go with Deebo.
This one's great from Spend. It says Pitt's defense doesn't know how to use their running backs, but their quarterback doesn't know how to use their wide receivers. How are they 5-3? Their defense is how they're 5-3.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Zay Flowers or Jerry Jeudy?
Let's see. Flowers, that's Baltimore, right?
Yep, going against Cleveland. Or Jerry Jeudy against the Bills.
Nah. You're trying to make me a villain here. I'm gonna go with Jeudy.
All right.
I think after they kept him and didn't trade him away, he's been playing a little bit better. So
here's one for you. Khalil Shakir, let's see a guy that you like, or Noah Brown.
Wow. Noah Brown, the guy nobody has that keeps screwing people's fantasy up. I really
Jesus
love.
fucking duck.
I really like Shakir.
Uh-huh.
But did they use him? Are they going to?
He in the last 3 weeks, he's been 14 for 14 in targets.
Well, let's go. Let's give him a shot.
You know, he's 18 for 19 in targets this year.
18 for 19. 19 targets over 10 weeks.
Yeah, but they didn't play him for the first 5.
Okay.
So it's 19 targets over the last 5 weeks. And really the last 3 weeks is when they've actually started to use him once Dawson Knox got hurt.
So Shakir or who?
It was Shakir. Oh God, who was the other one? Or crap, Noah Brown.
He's going to throw to Noah Brown. It's not going to help anybody's fantasy team, but he's going to throw to Noah Brown.
Let's see. Still here, just giving my rehab baby some love. We rehabbed a baby squirrel. It's his playtime. Nice.
Cool.
They finally established Shakir as a legit starting slot receiver. They did, Spen. They finally started giving him it's what we thought we got last year when we drafted him. All right. Would you go with Mike Evans or would you go with Keenan Allen?
I'm gonna go with Keenan. They sling it a lot more. I mean, Evans is great when they throw to him, but he's not going to get anywhere near the attempts that Keenan's going to get.
All right, last wide receiver one: Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson?
Thomas is out. I'm going to go with Olave this week. I don't completely.
I'm going Olave every week. I don't trust Zach Wilson can get the ball to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson's just not getting enough attempts. When he connects, it's fun to watch. But
yeah, it's I always go by PPR spend when I ask these questions, as the majority of fantasy leagues have PPR nowadays. Okay, tight ends.
I can't handle not playing a PPR.
Yep, tight ends. You going Evan Ingram or Jake Ferguson?
Oh boy, I like Evan Ingram because he's on my team, but Ferguson is going to feast this week. This is another week where I think Giants fans should go out and watch the fall colors because it's going to get ugly. Tommy.
Evan Ingram's Jags. Evan Ingram's.
Well, Jags. I know Evan Ingram is, but Ferguson's
is Dallas.
Dallas, and he's going to be playing against the Giants.
Oh, okay.
And I think he's just gonna, Evan Ingram's gonna get you 12 to 15 points. Mm-hmm. So really good pickup. I've had him on my team, and I love him. But if I got to pick between the two, Ferguson is gonna ball out this week. He's not gonna have any choice. I mean,
are they gonna have the 40-0 blowout they had in week 2?
It might be 50-0. I mean, Tommy DeVito threw for 84 yards last week.
And the two previous games he played, and he threw for negative.
And so what are you gonna say? Here, Saquon. Blow the whistle.
Little Giants.
Yeah. It's gonna get ugly.
All right, Logan Thomas or Kyle Pitts.
Well, damn, Kyle Pitts is better, but Logan Thomas is going to get more points.
Here, I got one better for you. Kyle Pitts or Jonnu Smith. They play for the same team.
I hate to say this, but I would go with Jonnu Smith.
He seems to be the one that's scoring the points.
Yeah. Kyle Pitts is just a heartbreaker. I mean,
so much talent. They just don't know how to use him.
Not a lot of that going around this year.
Yeah.
A lot of very talented players that are just in bad situations.
Hunter Henry or Luke Musgrave?
I like Henry's Henry's matchup this week.
Okay. Donald Parham or Gerald Everett, same team.
Yeah, yeah. Parham is your red zone and back is who they throw the touchdowns to.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think about catches and yards. Yeah. I think if you got to pick between them, you go with Parham and get that touchdown and 3 or 4 other catches. Whereas Garrett might get you 5 or 6 catches for 50, 60 yards. They just don't throw it to him in the end zone.
All right. So if anybody else has any start questions, please ask. While we'll go through the wrap up. All right, Howie. Hot pepper challenge time, buddy. Who you got?
Okay. Now, if anybody has been watching the hot pepper challenge, they know that the hot pepper is not a challenge; it's a curse.
Don't do it.
My big challenge this week is to a quarterback. I am expecting him to go for 40 yards in rushing and at least 1 touchdown. Rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how many passes he throws, and it doesn't matter how many interceptions he throws. But Josh Allen is my chili pepper challenge this week.
I hate you. I hope Sam House slips on a banana peel and breaks his butt.
Hey, this could be the first time I don't have to eat a damn pepper next week.
I don't want Josh running for 40 yards and a touchdown. I want him throwing.
Well, that's the thing.
Has Josh run for 40 yards yet this year?
Yeah, but those Bills fans, every time he cuts loose and runs, they love it and they cringe the whole time.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, he's going for it. Oh shit.
Yep.
But yeah, that's going to be my chili pepper challenge.
I hate you. I hate you so much. I hope you lose, and I hope he throws for 350 yards and 5 touchdowns, and you have to eat a pepper.
I hope he throws for 350 yards, throws 5 touchdowns, and doesn't get his 40 and touchdown. Yeah, that'd be okay.
Yep.
Because
I want Josh to run.
That's the scariest part of his game is when he cuts loose and runs. That's when I know he's on.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when he makes his mistakes, it's because he decides not to run, and he decides I'm going to thread the needle, and that's where he throws those damn end zone interceptions.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm thinking. He starts thinking too much. I believe it's like just go for it, Josh. As soon as you get that urge and you're inside the 20, and if you get that urge to run.
Mm.
Because he's tall, he's strong, he's fast, he's powerful. Is there a chance he could get hurt? Well, yeah, but you don't lead with your head.
There's also a chance he gets hurt standing in the pocket. That's how that's how he hurt his shoulder.
Absolutely. You go scrambling around, and all of a sudden that guy somebody comes up and blindsides you. As soon as he gets that urge to go, and he thinks he's got a lane, he should go. He should go. I think that they try to hold him back a little bit too much. And like I say, your offensive coordinator is like he never. The old saying is "dance with who brung you."
Yeah.
And Josh will be like doing his thing, little run here, little dink and dunk there, boom, chuck one over the top, and they'll be doing fine. And then your offensive coordinator says, "You know what? Let's try something." What do you mean? Let's try. Let's just keep doing what we're doing.
Let's try a basic play that doesn't keep Josh in his groove. Yeah, that's
right. Go with the flow. I mean, if it's working, keep going.
Read the room, brother. Read the room.
There you go.
All right. Do you have a pepper for this week?
I have one.
Yeah. Because last week there wasn't one, but I think the week before you had failed.
Oh, I'm sure I failed.
So before you eat it, let's
I got my X Factor.
Let's hit your X Factor. Who you got?
Pollard.
Oh God. Yeah.
I think he's gonna have a little resurgence. I think if you got Cowboys, play them
all.
Play them.
Honestly, I will be surprised if the Cowboys offense is the one that scores all the points. It might be that Cowboys defense.
I should have said that. What's his name? Aubrey.
The kicker.
I bet you he gets 5 field goals.
Oh,
I'm not gonna curse him with my pepper challenge, but I would
I
not.
can see that.
I would not doubt he gets that many, just because they got a lead and they're tired of scoring touchdowns.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, my dad doesn't hear this one. He's a big Giants fan.
All right. I'm gonna go with Alvin Kamara this week.
There you
You
go.
know, I like his matchup against Minnesota. They check the ball down to him a ton. I think it's good
he's
stuff.
a driving force in that offense right now.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
Yep. So you're gonna go Pollard. I'll go Kamara.
Where are we at on that? I'm about a point back.
16-14 me. You're 2 points back.
Okay. All right.
So let's eat that pepper. Eat that pepper. Speaking of this, I'm sick of seeing Cook stand in the middle of the field wide open and Josh throws a 20-yard incomplete pass. We're not gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Challenge Kincaid, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. I like that.
Hey,
I'd like him to get another touchdown, just one more.
Put a pepper on that for you.
You know, I'd like him to get one. You know, he only has one in his career so far. Is that one a little bit hot, Howie?
Yeah, a little hot.
A little hot. All right. For Howie and myself, we appreciate everyone coming in and being here with us. We'll be back again next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific. For Howie, I'm Mikey, and we will see you guys next week.
Happy Veterans Day.